It's no coincidence that, didn't Secret just win their upper bracket final with 2 games of Shaker? EG's looking to do the same. I think that certainly plays a role. It's one of those heroes that as the skill cap of the game increases and the players within it, that hero becomes better because it's one of the only ones with instant lockdown and tons of it.
We'll see how the lanes start off. We are going to have Crit and S4 beginning up top. They will look to kill off that wave before it hits the Radiant creep wave. We'll see how much can be done by NIP because of this. PPD is going to be here, start to spam us some poison. But that, of course, first wave will be easily soaked up with the Iron Shell. This duo, we're going to see this at sort of all stages of the game be strong. The Dark Sea Shaker in the lane. And of course, that huge wombo combo potential later on.
The mid matchup is the one I want to be watching as well. Fada Razor, one of his signatures against Sumail. Don't know how many games he's played Sniper, but I'm sure it's more than his Morphling, as that previous one was actually his first time in competitive play on the roll. Yeah, top is going to be much of a trade. You just back lane, eventually Crit will leave. Bottom lane is much harder for Lycan than you would expect. Once Bristle gets level 3, you can see he went for the Goo level 1. You can actually just click down Arteezy. Sox with boots first, 74 last hit damage. That's 30 more, 32 more than Fly's Oracle possesses.
And in regards to this top lane, obviously with the pressure being put on, Sven as a hero, I guess, doesn't mind too much farming underneath a tower, right?
You don't mind it. It's definitely one of the better heroes to do so. You have a Quelling Blade, you got plenty of last hit damage, and you just save points. Is Crit in trouble here?
It's going to be close, but yeah, it wouldn't have been quite enough 4 stacks as Crit able to TP back. But PPD, hey, he has managed to push them out of that top lane. S4 is going to have to be sort of out of lane for quite a while as he's both low on HP and mana.
This is why they picked the Shadow Demon into the Darkseer. One of the best heroes at dealing with that pressure. And also, when he's got spare time, PPD, he'll get a stack and go for the top rune. Oh, Arcane Rune.
This is a lot of time that S4 is kind of out of the lane.
Gets the Surge off, but he will most likely have to go all the way back to base.
Unless he just wants to rely on the clarity of the mangoes. It does get passed over. The mangoes, what, 2 mangoes, 2 clarities. It looks like S4's just going to try and stick around. Has the salve being given to him as well. So we'll be able to stay in lane.
That is the one weakness of the Shaker, right? Where you don't have that ease of execution playing with the Darkseer. You don't have that point and click stun. You've got to try and catch PPD out of position, land a block. Easier said than done. Bottom.
One more the tower. Spray might just do it. He has the salve pop, and he's actually able to keep out of range as well. So the salve will keep going. They'll look to get the kill onto Fly instead. They'll get the Oracle. Arteezy still actually pretty low. Came back in range. And the salve did end up getting cancelled. 33 and Saxo still trying to play around with him. Flies back into the lane though. That should mean that Arteezy is fine for now. But definitely the potential of these 2 heroes, and as you say, this early nasal goo causing a lot of issues for EG in this safe lane.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're doing fine on the CS, and you don't mind that Oracle dies there, because eventually Arteezy will be able to out-regen this lane. It's about the 3-3 mana pool that truly matters, and I think he's going to go all the way back to buy a bottle instead of those boots so that he can maintain presence in this lane. Top, Ace still free farming hard. I think this is the right move from EG. You want to pull this creep wave. You don't want to just continuously back lane as Peter spams Shadow Poison on both of you.
Yeah, they've been just taking so much damage for it. Yeah. As that poison stacks up each and every time, making it hard for S4 and Crit to hold their ground top. EPD also being prepared, getting more mana sent out to him. Clarity and Mango on the way. So he can stay in the lane, but S4's got the Soul Ring done, so he can keep that spam, have that extra bit of regen to stay and continue these sort of plays.
And check that mid matchup though. Sumail, bit outmatched. That's to be expected. Early levels, Razor gets the link off. You have equal damage without. If you get a couple seconds of it, it's very, very difficult for a sniper to last hit against you. He's got a full level advantage at the moment. Might even hit 5 before Sumail's 3.
Radiant's top tower is under
Both teams having supports hover around that mid. Crit and PPD seeing if they could have done anything, but all they're going to do is stop each other from getting close to that middle lane. Bottom 33. Getting involved in this pool that EG's trying to make happen. Fly has to be careful each and every time. Anytime these quill sprays stack up, Fly could be vulnerable to being dove. Has the stick though.
You're cool with this right now though. If you're EG, you're trading in effectively all the lanes. Sure, Fada has more denies, but the slower game should favor Evil Geniuses. They have a much easier time killing objectives, and specifically Ace's Sven needs a lot of time to come online. Whereas Arteezy, he just needs wolves and a necrobook, and he can slay your towers with ease.
Saxon nearly dies there to fly. With the Purifying Flames again, can't quite do it.
So close.
33's got the Quill Spray to get the kill. The mid lane wraparound will be successful. Crit.
Yep.
Sets up for the kill on Tafada.
It's the Sniper Shaker combo. One of the best choices to lane up against the Razor in terms of kill potential. I was thinking Viper for sure. There were so many things you could break. The Bristle, the Sven, even the Razor's Aura. But Sniper, at some point, will be able to get a Silver Edge, and it's just more damage output. Probably better synergy with the EG lineup because you already have the tower pressure handled. You've got a lot of front line. You needed that hero just to be able to sit in the back and get tons of damage out. The mixed damage potential as well is quite nice when you consider all of NIP's heroes won't be going for BKB till second or third item. A lot of convergence on mid though. Fada in trouble.
A block with the Fisher. PPG is there with the disruption available if Fada gets pressured too much. And we have it being used, but Fada already falling very low. Saxon tries to commit with the shackles, but Fada, he just gets slapped down. By an enchant totem, Crit gets the kill, and Crit keeping himself at a distance away from PPD, may even think about going back in. He's got Fisher back up in a second. They'll try and block him off. PPD a little high up on the ground, but he's still able to move in, get the block off, and Crit sets up for a second. They let them have the Shaker, and Crit already off to a beautiful start again in this game too.
As is Ace, though, once again, he's going to be top net worth in the game. 3 points in the Great Cleave. PPD's got 2 stacks up for him at the medium camp above mid. Might want Fada to take that, but the downside is Fada went for the 3-2-0 build, so he won't be able to accelerate through the jungle. This is for lane dominance. And I always fear for Razors that don't have max passive early because they won't have that ability to swarm through the jungle. It'll be all on Ace for the acceleration as they just walk into PPD.
PPD does have the disruption to stop Crit for a little bit. Crit's going to continue to go. That route more than long enough to allow him to close the gap with the Fisher there again. Crit, another kill. 3-0-1. They're going to bring in TPs. They want to stop Crit, at least get a kill off him. They will trap him up. Ace also coming in. Doesn't need to at the end of the day. Saxa and Fada will be able to finally get Crit off the map, but Crit, he's certainly done the job already, causing so much chaos around that mid lane.
Yeah, remember, wolves need no armor. Arteezy farming through the jungle will finish up his HOD, no boots, in just 200 gold, and then all of a sudden, every time he uses an ult, there's a threat that he could find a kill on any target, and then immediately look to click down the tower as well. We'll be able to complete that. Looks like the courier still has his ring of health. It'll head over to him now. 3-3, he went for the boots bottle. I think he'll be rushing a Vanguard into Crimson next. Means his offensive power will be limited, and they're going for him.
They are. Crit, he's here to offer the backup. Once again, the root first to slow him down, hold him in possession, get the setup for a good Fisher. Traps him in, 33, he's stuck in the...
You gotta be careful.
The Quill Sprays are adding up though onto Arteezy. Arteezy has to keep the distance, wait for the Quill Sprays to wear off. Does mean that 33 will stay alive.
He's just holding his back to them.
He's going deeper and deeper here in the trees. It's taking their time to kill him, but one more slap. Crit, he's got it.
Oh my God.
Top lane as well, looking for S4. They do get a trade, NIP.
Yep.
They'll kill it off S4, as well as Crit dying, as Fada did come into the lane for the cleanup.
I like that play from 3-3 though. You accept death as the offlaner, especially when you're Bristleback. You recognize that, look, I might die here, but I'm gonna burn, it burns the Lycan ult. You get tons of health out of these supports, and in addition, you even get the trade. And now Fada can just show up. Arteezy has no ability to contest him. He's gonna be forced to go back into the jungle. We'll have his HOD coming out on Courier. Sumail finishing the treads. Now Peter just trying to get his own XP, taking the lane that Fada's abandoned. Slight lead for NIP in the gold, mostly because Ace. He's 1,000 in front of the game, rushing the Echo Saber, which I like. It's the fastest item for acceleration you can go on Sven, with that max cleave as well.
Yeah, very nice to deal with sort of the summons, as you know, if suddenly Arteezy comes running at you. A couple of hits, and the walls will die.
This is all going to be a game of timing. Will you be able to get on top of Sumail's sniper at some point in the game as well? I think Nip have more of the impetus here. They are the ones that...
Oh, wait, what? Whoa, down! PPD or Fada, who was down there?
It's like a Fada.
It was Fada. Fada. Got the courier killed, bringing it across that mid lane. PPD, he'll get himself killed. There's Crit. He'll take this one.
Oh my God, Crit's having such a great game.
5-2-1, involved in all 6 kills so far for EG Crit.
More importantly, he's got those kills. He's 5 of them, and he has Blink in a little over 1,000 gold, along with Arcanes. Last game he had to go Tranquil Soul Ring. He much prefers this item combo, and you look at the heat map, other than having to do that slow walk of shame out to lane again, he has been playing aggressive all gone. And 15 seconds to bounties. Looks like it'll be a 2-for-2 trade, but that's the kind of move that's a bit tilting, right? You lose Courier, you lose Peter, and you lose mid tower, the most important on the map.
And Sumail is able to pick up a kill on Saxa up top. Chases him down with the assassinate. The net worth now even at 10 minutes in.
Yeah. I actually like Sumail's item build. He's rushing Shadowblade, and when you have all this pace from EG, you're gonna have a Lycan just beeline forwards with his ult popped, a surged Shaker or Darkseer as well. Now you can just ensure that your positioning will be ideal. You break, you attack Shrapnel ult, and that first target EG goes for is almost certainly going to die. NiP, their whole lineup is predicated upon being ahead in the engagement and then rolling forward. They have no real save or peel, so they're gonna look to smoke and get aggressive. They want the enemy mid tower, or maybe just RTZ like him, but the smoke pops.
RTZ would be a beautiful catch if they can find it. They don't actually get any of the disable off. RTZ's able to keep his distance, pop the ult, in fact, turn straight towards them, pushing them back. PPD will contain him with the disruption, but already the summons beating down on the Shadow Demon. PPD's dead. A failed smoke gang there from NIP as they just do not get any disable off onto RTZ in time.
Yep, and the Purge creep, you can see it dispels the Warcry, that move speed, the damage reduction, it disappears. And I like what 3-3 is doing in the sense that he continues to pressure the enemy offlane, but EG responding properly. Think of Bristle as a Timbersaw. You don't play into him, you just play away. You have no problem mirroring the map here, because at some point, if NiP look to rotate and finish off that tier 2, looks like it might happen sooner rather than later. They do have roster wards available. You don't want to go to Roche just yet because Lycan ult's down, but that's always a threat, especially once Artur finishes the Necro book. He's only a few hundred gold away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Fly gonna collect level 6 down bottom. And look at this, S4 and Sumail just holding hands in the enemy jungle. They farm so fast, keeping each other safe.
Still holding on to this mid and top tier 1 tower. Not giving NIP any sort of chance to push in. But having to be careful every time he comes forward. He knows if they can get the slow, the purge, and the chase. There's a lot of damage between the three of them, especially having crit with an available Fissure. There we have it, 12 minutes in, Carl.
Yep. That's
a big dagger done on Shaker.
That's terrifying. No one on NIP is even close to that level of initiation. And their draft, as I just said, like they're all in. They're going to go divide. And bottom, nice TP from Sumail. He had the invis, now goes bottom. He'll set up the easy kill onto Saxa.
And nothing that can be done by Saxa. The scan does hit on to 33, so they know there's more around, but they won't go chasing. 33 still a target that's a bit of a struggle to tackle. They'll continue to ignore him, EG.
Yep, he's got a Vanguard. No reason to touch him.
Same to be said for S4. A very beefy target.
Yeah. And this is the concern. You look, NiP, you're going to have a blink on the Sven, but that's your core. And you're going to have a Bristle, a Razor. Like, they want to go in. They're going to naturally clump up. And Crit can so easily peel this fight and just potentially even win the game for EG with one big echo.
And that's because it feels hard as well for NIP. Even with the blink on the Sven, who are you jumping and killing straight away?
Yep, there's an Oracle as well, if you ever actually get that real initiation. Very difficult hero for Sven to play against, and another source of offensive purge for the Warcry.
Yeah, there's no obvious targets for NIP to jump. The smokes come out from both sides. NIP, focus on the mid lane. Sumail already starting to play it safe, getting back into the trees, and EG's going for the longer wraparound through the jungle of NIP.
This is perfect play from EG here if they can connect.
If Crit can find the opening with that blink.
One downside, Fly has only 200 mana remaining. Could be a tough battle for them.
They're taking the tower, but EG's sort of letting them. Baiting them in for this one, S4. He's going to see if he can find some sort of setup with the vacuum. They're already looking towards Fada. Fada out of money, gets the static off. So RTZ has to keep the distance, but there's the fish.
Here it comes.
Crit. Not wanting to jump in as of yet. The wall has been dropped down. Saxa gets nuked off to the side by the Purifying Flames. As NIP having to back off.
Yeah, great patience from Crit there. I thought for a moment he was going to have this opportunity to hit all three, but they did the Delta split just in time, and Crit wisely just turns away. Recognize, look, all I have to do is not miss Echo. Nice TP from Artur as well. Hides in the trees as his ult fades and ensures he gets out of dodge. And every single time EG pop a Lycan ult, it is finding them a kill, but you got to be cautious. Ace has level 12. He's got Blink Dagger. If you clump up, could pay big dividends for really either side. There's no points in vacuum yet either on S4. Then that scenario we just saw where the wall came down, if there's a vac, that would have been a huge fight for EG because Crit was in position to follow up.
I mean, for Ace as well, with this sort of build with the Echo into Blink, do you imagine we're going to see the BKB, or does he go for the SNY? How important is that magic immunity? I mean, I feel like against the Shaker, right, he needs it, otherwise Crit's always going to be there with the counterplay.
You definitely can't afford to go SNY. You need some raw damage here. I think BKB is fine. Maybe a mini crit first, something like this, but I think the BKB is necessary, to your point, because that's the only thing that really changes the status quo in these team fights. Because right now it feels like EG, so long as they don't find themselves out of position with the core picked off, they should be able to have a huge advantage in the 5-on-5. And 3-3, your job, he's trying to make himself a target. That's all about the items. You just pop Crimson, walk forwards. But another concern is you're playing against Oracle, and Arteezy's done a great job of keeping his Purge creep alive. He's going to find another one here. I think he'll take one over. Remember, Crimson Guard and the Warcry are dispellable.
Yeah, so as long as Arteezy and Sumail sort of focus down a target, they can kill them.
Yes.
Of course, still 33. He is very beefy, even without those buffs. Just having his passive, of course, if he's able to turn his back. But everybody else on NIP has to be very, very wary of being jumped as such. It's Fada and Saxu trying to push out on this bottom lane. It is just the two of them.
And look at the warding as well from EG. I love this. They have the entrance to their jungle. You can see it just peeked out on Ace because it covers that Shrine Hill and the lane. And they've also got one a bit advanced forward. They want to bait NIP into an engagement here. They're playing on one of their own wards.
Got the vision on them themselves, and Fly will be found. Serpent wards are dropped.
God, that's so scary.
The fish just sort of stops them from going any further. Crit, again, able to block NIP off, make sure that Fly can walk away to safety. And that's the Serpent wards expended for nothing.
Sumail going to go for the Maelstrom, just try and look to accelerate. And there's the Purge creep. As you can see, Arteezy just trying to chase down PPD. And this is scary. Again, I think EG's got a great read on this game. They're gonna the Purge mechanics, they're so hard to find in Dota. I can't believe EG has two, and it's so good in this game. The big survivability tools of the two strength heroes on NIP are just shut down. Not sure what they're going to look to do here. Really not much stacking either going on. We're going to get one ancient stack here. This will be the second time we have a double for Ace to pick up, but I'm concerned he's not accelerating fast enough. Only 300 gold ahead of the sniper. He was 1,300 gold ahead at what, like 6-8 minutes in, something like that?
You've got to be careful with those wards as well. It's 17 minutes in to have given away 500 gold, 17-7 wards. That's a lot of wards you're letting EG farm up.
Yeah. If you check the map, again, EG, they're just controlling their own jungle because they don't need vision in the top area of the map. They have a Lycan who just farms with his creeps. Darkseer farming with his Ion Shells.
Crit down bottom, instantly in with the Echo, locks down Fada. And the two of them will claim his life. Crit and Sumail. Saxa tries to go for a Hex, but now knowing that the number favor is there for EG, NIP will not try and poke anymore. They'll just hold back behind that tower. Maelstrom done for Sumail.
It's the exact same game as we saw Secret play when they had the Oracle Shaker supports. You can't target a core because there's two supports behind with Peel, and if you go for the support, the other one can always save him, assuming he's out of position in the first place, and there's still no real jump potential in NIP. I know Sven has a blink, but he doesn't want to have to play so active. He wants to just farm. He'd love to have the game Arteezy's had. If you have ult up, find a kill. Otherwise, just continue ricing through the woods. And instead, Ace constantly has to pinball back and forth just to try and get something doing for his squad.
And even when that BKB is done, as I say, they in these 5v5s, sure, they'll be able to jump in, clean out the walls with the cleave. But then when it comes to actually killing off these cores, it's so hard. They have to pretty much find Fly at the start of each fight.
And Arteezy has no intention whatsoever of ever engaging Ace in a man-to-man fight in the river or something. He's just going to pop his ult and try and kill off the supports, maybe Fada's Razor. Make himself, you want to ensure that someone else on your team is targeted. Notably, make them chase after Sumail. As one hero is targeted on EG, the others can look to converge on the back line. Like NIP, they're doing it right though. And Soxa playing bottom, the rest of the squad trying to make a move here. The smoke is active and they plant Bristle on the tower. But EG, as you can see, they're not going to engage. They're going to just try and burn his mana off with the Necro Button.
They're doing a good job of that as well. 33 pretty much out of the mana. The Fisher will slow down Fada. Fada goes in with the rod. He's got the control onto Crit, but there's the save from Fly. Keeping Crit safe and at a distance. Now they'll turn Sumail, starting to peep into Fada. Shrine will be popped by NIP. NIP still very wary about how they jump in and commit. They tried to close the gap and get EG by surprise with that smoke. But EG's lineup proving to be very hard to break through and get to the backlines.
Yeah, it's just Ace, like he wants to initiate, he desperately wants to, but you can't, because if he blinks in aggressive, oh, here we go.
What they do? They get the stun onto Crit, but
him,
Crit, he's got some out by his side, just peeping and pushing Ace away. They're chasing down Flies, a bit of a split-up fight for NIP. They do get the route onto Flies, so they will get Oracle. The Oracle cannot escape. NIP finds something. Can they find anything more? S4 has the surge, wants to stick around for the rune, won't be able to get it. It's 33, will pick it up between them. Down bottom, EG will look to grab the two themselves, but with a quick TP, Fada will secure that one as well.
You see the invis on Crit. He's going to go walk straight into the sentry. This could be dangerous for either hero.
I mean, yeah, Fada's trying to poke at the Shaker here, but Sumail's there with the damage, and Fada's going to die for that. Baited in by his own sentry ward.
And look, they're just going to keep going. They have vision on the roster. Artur's just beelining for these supports.
They've got to run NIP. They've got to regroup. Ooh. The chase is continuing, but indeed with them backing off, they know that there is 4. EG won't push their luck too far.
Like, it was good from NIP to engage top. They had wards on EG, but Arteezy was already bottom, so there was no intention of them fighting. They only lose the support. And you just look at the map control EG possess. It just feels like one opportunity, one opening, and suddenly they're the ones that have this massive lane pressure. NIP game 1, they had to control the waves, whereas now EG, they look to play around the Roche pit next. Mid and top going to be pushed. Next Necrobook timing, you have ult up. I think Arteezy can just walk into the pit. Blink dunk in 90 seconds. Maybe you wait for that. Sumail's very happy. He's going to have the Silver Edge finished right now, along with the Maelstrom. So his acceleration hasn't suffered, and now that break mechanic is up. So we were talking about how they were ignoring 3-3, who went for the Sanj and Yasha. He realized, okay, I want to do some damage because I'm just being ignored. I want to be able to at least try to bully the opponents. But now, status quo changes. This break reveal, you just explode the Bristleback. You purge his Crimson Guard, you dispel his back spines. He's just as squishy as any strength hero walking around with 14 armor and 2,000 HP.
Oh, they find Crit. Crit's on his own, they get the jump, they look for more, they get the Rod of Atos onto S4. NIP trying to find this Darkseer. S4 does stop, drop the vacuum, and the wall, another surge is there, but NIP will continue to chase. As the stun, Ace gets the range for it. They'll keep locked down onto S4 for this one, jumping in with the God Strength. The Shackles from Saxa, they've got the damage, they'll get both. NIP making the plays there, getting Crit and S4 isolated away from the rest of the team.
That's the BKB on Ace. He can suddenly play with confidence. He knows that even if he goes in a bit too far, there's no potential for EG to turn it around and suddenly make him the target. Mid, look at this. This is maybe the play that they were waiting for on EG. They've got Silver Edge up. 3-3 doesn't know about it just yet, I don't think. Artur's waiting with his already. They're going to go for it.
TPs are already coming in, though, for 33. Will they be in time?
They purged it.
They purged the Crimson, but they haven't got enough control as it looks. As 33 will get back. They'll actually look towards Fada instead, as Fada's now had his entire mana pool burned. We'll have to take the steps back towards the base. EG keeping NIP pushed back to this tier 2. And Saxa.
Crit was a little too far away. Maybe 3-4 more seconds of hesitation. EG would have found that kill for sure. Artur going to backdoor the bot tower in exchange. Just continuously pulling NIP around the map, who hold on to a small gold lead. But it's almost all on Ace, it feels. He's got to have perfect blink-ins. It's so easy to get kited. Very difficult Sven game. He gets the targets, a huge stun into a cleave. Like, you can just wipe the floor with EG, but much easier said than done. And we're soon approaching that critical point of the game where a fight in Roche is almost inevitable. Much easier for the Radiant, of course, to play around it. PPD wants to ensure they have some kind of vision control in the area. They see S4. Both teams doing a good job of warding up their own jungles. And it's cool how at first the bottom jungle was where we were playing around. Now it's switched to top just because it's late enough that Roche dies fast enough. And they have vision. They see this. EG's going to make a move.
Let's see if they can get Ace or PPD first. There's the slow onto Ace. They'll let the blink off before the damage connects. They'll look for the easier kill. Crit gets the jump off onto PPD.
Right into the pit. Look at this. Artur not even waiting. He's going to walk straight into the Aegis. 30 seconds on PPD. No buyback. This is the trouble. It's the Radiant advantage right here in a nutshell, Owen.
The Greaves complete on S4. A lot of sustain to keep them in that pit without worry of NIP's interference. Crit's on the sidelines. Echo Slam at the ready if he feels the need to jump in. They'll start to play around with 33, stop him from invading. NIP really want to try and force EG away from this, though. Roshan down to half HP.
They don't have Necro Book. They don't want to engage just yet. All their spells still available. Big key here. BKB level 18 on Ace. This is as close to a peak timing at this point of the game as you can get. And 10 seconds on the bounty runes. EG not wanting to force. However, they will lose both bottom for free as Peter respawns and looks to go grab them. That was a win for NIP. They prevent the Roche. Get the scan out, but now we get this cute little game of cat and mouse. Which team will commit? Who will make the first real mistake of this game too? Only a 2K lead for NIP, but it's anybody's fight. It's all about the initiation.
Both teams just hanging around the pit, waiting for each to make a move. Who's going to be the first to jump? As everybody ultimates at the ready. EG starting to push over the river. Found the assassinate, but there Ace, he gets the jump in. Look at the Hex off as well. BKB's pop, Serpent Wards blocking in, trapping Arteezy off, and pop the ult, try and bite his way in, but Ace running back towards the backlines, cannot get crit in time. Crit will escape. Wall's going to be dropped down. Sumail go for the TP up the rod of Atos. They cancel Sumail's TP. They're on top of the sniper. They'll get one. And now they look for more. 33. He's found Fly. The Goose stacks up. Double kill for Fada. They'll turn towards Saxa, but now they're outnumbered, EG. They have to be careful. 33 keeps going for Crit. Crit slides down to the low ground. The shackles are there onto S4. He'll grab the double damage, continue to retreat.
That's
and NIP, they're taking the fight very nicely so far. The TP over from Fada towards the shrine to jump in from Saxa. They have to lock down for a third. Crit's dead as well.
There you go. I like this. NIP learned a bit from that first game. They take the initiative. They sat on their heels for a bit too long, allowed EG to get to a position where suddenly their team fight was insurmountable. This time, Ace sees EG. You can't cross the river. I thought we had a deal here. The moment they enter NIP territory, he just leaps forwards, and you could see they were trying to peel him, but when his BKBs pop, he's just doing too much damage. Both Shaker and Darkseer were dying to the cleave. Oracle ult forced onto the crit support, and that means that Sumail, the moment he's Atos, as you said and saw, he's just dead. The Force Staff wasn't up. He was saving for buyback.
Yeah, brilliant move from NIP. Now with the lead, 5K advantage. Ace just showing the power of the Sven here as he jumps ahead.
At this point, I think EG, they might need to take a page out of NIP's book from that first game. Focus on the buildings. How does Artur engage in these fights before BKB? In fact, without BKB, as he's going for an AC. He catches a stun, an Atos, whatever. He's forced to run away. You can't actually fight against Sven, as we said right at the beginning of the game. In fact, EG, I think they need like some massive AoE combo to be able to turn this around. They need a vac into a 2 or 3 man echo. But the concern is that the damage output of the sniper just isn't there yet. So even with the Silver Edge, you can see 3-3 is playing with no fear. Sven, obviously, with his BKB up, has none either. It's very difficult for the EG side to kill anybody until they get this game a little later. You need more damage on Sumail specifically.
And until that point, they've just got to let towers go. NIP. They'll get the tier 2 down bottom. PPD will be killed off towards the mid.
Or Willie.
Well, I say Willie, yeah, he does finally go. They've dropped the wards for this one, Saxa. They will quickly get themselves away. The rest of NIP coming around, though. See if they can get the catch onto Sumail or anybody else.
They're forced to run through the wall, too, so tons of vision.
They have separated S4. S4 able to purge off the rod with the Greaves. He'll start to retreat, but already Ace just jumps and cuts down Fly. The Oracle's dead. There'll be a buyback coming out from PPD. Ace is going to pop the BKB. He's a little scared of EG jumping back in upon him. As Fada will TP out the top lane, Arteezy is going for that split push pressure. Yep. They'll instantly TP back to defend it. Jump in, vacuum onto 33. 33. He'll be able to run it off. He's out of mana, but still a lot of HP to play with, and has got Ace by his side.
No BKB on Ace, and his ult has faded. It's getting risky. They have Silver Edge in 2 seconds. There it is.
Can they kill him, though? They still need a lot of damage to kill this Bristle.
Yep, and Lycan is not a hero in the game. He is a building slayer. This game is 4-on-5 for EG. He did do a ton of pressure. You can even see Arteezy drawing the line. Like, this is where he wants to play. He recognizes that this is not the part of the game. His team has the ability to take real engagements. He's going to finish the Assault Cuirass. There it is. And if he had that up for that tier 3 push, he may have even been able to take it out. But he did get the glyph. He has 4 minutes now, where if NIP are caught sleeping for just a moment, they will be in trouble.
I mean, when Arteezy goes for these plays on NIP, who are sort of the heroes you're sending back to deal with it whilst trying to keep the pressure or the team fight going elsewhere?
Well, that's the tough part, right? Because you don't want it to be ace, because then you have no real threat. If you send 3-3, then the rest of your team gets kited, and they don't have that. You don't have that meat shield to keep the supports safe. And if it's Fada, I don't think Arteezy even cares. He just goes straight for the building. There is a BKB on Fada, however, so no one on Nip is really targetable right now. Big part of that, again, just because the damage output of Lycan is neutered based on the counter picks that Nip selected with their 4th and 5th. And Sniper, just because you need utility before you can go for those raw damage items, like the Sven has had the luxury of doing so. With the AC into the Crystallis, I imagine Daedalus complete will be his next decision, but only 500 gold in the bank. Not really threatened by anything, however. Went to go for the -6 second Stormhammer cooldown as well. I really like that decision. It ensures that Lycan really never able to threaten him, as he'll always be able to throw out a stun on the minions.
Yeah, and especially against surge targets as well. Just having that constant ability to chase down and have the stun back up.
Look at this.
They're taking towers, NIP. There's tier 2 falling. Their fortification will be popped though. EG going to attempt a bit of a fight here. BKB out from ace. And NIP will back off. There'll be the chase from them, looking for kills. They'll find PPD. He'll be the one left behind. As a Shadow Demon will fall, but the rest of NIP are able to retreat and get out of there.
Look at bottom. Arteezy trying to kill off Sox's Rasta is not going to be possible. Will instead feed over just the 1 Necro Creep. They do finish PPD, as you said. 3K lead for NIP. Really does feel like a repeat of last game, doesn't it? Except they've changed play styles.
Yeah, they had this lead, NIP, but it is slipping away a little bit.
There's a nice smoke. They did not see this on the side of NIP, and 3-3 is isolated up top. Still has Aegis for 9 more seconds. Okay. So if they just chill a bit,
if they can play to this time. 8. They'll certainly wait. I don't think they'll be able to kill him in 5 anyway. They've got to wait 5 seconds. Make sure that they wait their time, and there we have it. The Aegis is gone, and 33 dies!
So close. I don't know if they recognized what the timer was, but they lucked out anyway.
We'll say it was skill. It could have been luck. But I'm sure they knew they had it timed down and absolutely perfect to a T. Taking 33 out of the game as that Aegis expires. And dead for 50 seconds. EG with the pushing potential of this Lycan. Arteezy, he can step it up and get ready to try and force out a buyback.
Yeah, and EG, they're going to look to pressure this tower, hopefully kill it, get the buyback, get the hell out of there. Lycan ult is active. Necro will be down momentarily. And Sniper just shrapnels. You get high ground vision. It's just about getting this tier 3. That's all EG want. But you got to be cautious. Ace is looking to jump. They will back out. It's so nerve-wracking because you know that if you make that one misstep, Ace will just slaughter whoever he jumps for.
Yeah, with the items he has now, he can do so.
I like this
move. Sven is huge.
They place a ward on the high ground and send Arteezy bottom. It'll lull Nip into a false sense of security. S4 will show. He'll start pushing top. You play these 2 side lanes, much like NIP did in the previous game, and look to find somebody isolated like they just got that kill on Bristle. Roshan spawning soon, but not for some time. Arteezy with both the CDR and the shapeshift duration talent. So Lycan has a big problem with his effectiveness like on map without ult. As you level up, it gets easier and easier to reduce that downtime. 70 second CD, 26 second duration. So much more uptime, much easier for your team to play around and continue doing what he's doing. Spending the spells, the cooldowns, to press NIP into a lane as his team plays elsewhere. And it could punish 3-3 once again.
He's trying to push out on his own. Ooh. He does back up before Crit is able to find the Fisher block off though.
So close though. You can see it's just, he knows. He's 2 seconds slower on that back away. He just gets blocked off and probably goes down. You don't ever want to mass TP onto a shrine if you're NIP. You have absolutely no vision in the top area of the map, which is why EG is so confident playing in this area. Fly's done a good job. A D ward on the shrine, a D ward that got the high ground. So they know NIP don't have anything around this area. Of course, Sox proves me wrong, places one immediately as they smoke behind it. And EG get out of dodge. They felt it coming. They know no one's bottom. And where's Arteezy headed? It's a very, very easy game to read. It's just a question of who makes the first mistake. Even if they don't find kills, they at least get wards up with this rotation. And they may get lucky here as S4 walks in.
He's going to be the one on the front, forces down to the low ground. Slides himself away from the inevitable ace. Looking for that stun.
I really like EG's decision here. They have 3 Force Staffs. The same way you play against Ursa, you play against Sven. Any of these melee heroes, Blink-reliant initiation, just continuously kite back, kite back, kite back. That benefits Sniper way more than it does these melee cores of NIP, who really have no option other than continuing to run forwards. BKB on Sven only at 7 seconds now. Later this game goes, the more it favors EG.
NIP still in the same area of EG's map, as EG do push out the mid and the bottom. NIP starting to TP over. See if they can get the catch out onto RTZ. RTZ's got a lot behind him. He'll pop the ult straight away. In fact, starting to posture for a fight. S4 is there by his side, but NIP will not be able to make the jump.
And they force TPs, and they just pin, just immediately straight to the other end of the map. Just continuously mirror and cut. That's all you got to do. In fact, he just runs straight to the top lane.
And they're looking the mid for S4. S4 is going to be saved by the false promise. Vada's still getting a big static link off as he tries to chase him with the BKB, keeping the damage on Crit, making it hard for Crit to make any sort of blink play. S4 will be fine, but there's the Hex onto Crit. He's trapped in the wards, forced out to the side. There's Samael with the Hurricane Pike, shoving Crit backwards, keeping him at a safe distance. Fishes out onto the 3 of them. Surge as well. They'll save Crit and get him out of there.
Arteezy into the base, but Ace, you can see, he has to plant himself there to prevent the Lycan from entering. So even though they got the team advantage.
They're TPing back to the Shrine as well, maybe see if they can catch
blink.
him. But indeed, a blink into the lane there. Saxa predicting the movement incorrectly. Arteezy's able to walk back safely through the jungle. NIP are still on the hunt, though. Again, Roche up. This is the area where they will all be focused. Orchid done for Ace, that extra bit of control and damage.
Win or lose this series, both teams playing near peak form. I really think that it's a good time to do so as well. NIP haven't looked the greatest throughout the season, but now guaranteed top 6. Almost guaranteed going to TI. And even if they lose this game, they are playing it well. It's just EG, you know, always that step ahead. But you know NIP is just, they're so close. They can just find that one pick off, start to threaten the enemy base.
As you mentioned, it really is sort of a game on the other way around. Last game, you see NIP make sort of one mistake at that point. You know, EG could have been collapsing into a victory here. If EG make a mistake, NIP could steamroll down a lane. This Sven from Ace is absolutely huge. 25k net worth nearly, and then this good control around the pit, making it so hard for EG to get that Roche that they want to do so with the Lycan. They have to try and find a pick-off or a fight first, and they're going for it here with the smoke.
But you got to be careful. Look at Arteezy's build. He went Deso. He is not playing Dota to kill the enemies. It's all about the buildings. He's killing the tier 2 bottom.
Top, they find a core catch. They'll get Fada. No. Jump in with the Echo. Fada's down for 75.
And Arteezy's already so pressured bottom. You got to make a decision here, NIP. Which lane are you going to play into? 2 heroes show bottom. But EG, they beeline his 4 to the Roche pit. They know Fada will be out of this game. No buyback. They see he buys Shivas. Might assume it's not available.
NIP still seeing if they can get a poke on this. They get the Hex off. Onto Fly. Fisher will be there to cancel the shackle. Force to the side, and Fly will be fine. NIP, they still go Ace. Oh, the 2-man stun. The silence on Samael, but it's removed off immediately by the false promise. They lose towards S4. The damage from this Sven rips S4 apart. Saxa, he's in with the Hex. They've caught out another 33 and Ace upon him. Samael will pop, and they're not done yet. Ace on towards Fly, stuns out. He has been disarmed. It's slowing him down, but the silence onto Fly means Fly's got nothing else available. Ace 2 shots him as there's a triple kill for the Sven. NIP, a beautiful jump and commitment into the fight. They lose Fada, but they know that they can still fight.
Look, anytime,
without the numbers.
Anytime NIP is engaging, it's good for them because Arteezy is not playing with the team. It's the right call, but it means that they're going to be completely outmatched in any engagement.
And now they've got the Roche.
Doing is playing cat and mouse.
There's no way they can stop this. I mean, they do have buybacks on S4 and Fly, but they're not going to commit them. This is going to be Roshan surely for NIP. Crit is up, but he hasn't got the Echo Slam.
Yeah, and dude, he went for the stun duration talent on the Sven. 3.25 now. AoE disable on only a 7-second cooldown. Ace is his own.
And Saxa. Oh, he's able to walk in with the Invis. He's found Crit waiting outside the pit. It's another kill from NIP. Crit's gone into the pit. They back. And they don't. Again, this is just, it's not the quickest of Roshans with their lineup, but it's seemingly a pretty safe one. I mean, EG, they do have everyone up now apart from Crit, but the fact that they don't have that Shaker means that they don't really have that big sort of team fight wombo start to stop NIP from getting away from this. They'll take Roche.
You got to be careful though, NIP. You made the mistake last game of getting this huge lead and then sitting on it for a bit too long. This is your window to win the game. Arteezy is always going to be threatening your base. And the longer the game goes, the more likely it is you just make that one mistake where it's not even a mistake. You just forget about your base for 10 seconds with Glyph down, and Arax is dead.
He really is playing the ace arc coordinate of game one.
Yep. And you're at this critical mass. You've just finished a heart on your Bristleback. He's got Gem. You've got the Vlad's active. Almost all these team fight auras are available. Your Sven is nearly capped out. What's he got coming to him? Bots? Yeah. Wants to ensure, and this was huge. It's the same as game one, right? Where finally, your hyper carry has the ability to split around the map, so Ace can both threaten Arteezy and be able to actually play Dota with his teammates. I also really like that he went for the Bloodthorn instead of the Daedalus. When you're playing against multiple forms of mana burn as Sven, it's very important that you have some sort of regen. The Echo Bloodthorn ensure that even if you were to kill off Necrobook after it attacks you for a little bit, you're still going to be in fighting shape, and you need to have the mana pool to constantly spam stun on that short cooldown. Also removes your need for an MKB, although no one on the side of EG has purchased Evasion just yet. Blink Dagger on Sumail. Again, recognizing it's about positioning, not damage output. They need NIP heroes isolated to find kills, but the lanes are good for NIP, so they're just going to look to push.
They are. They're moving in with the smoke. We'll see if they can get Saxa. In with the jump, the Blink Hex. Ace is there with the damage as Crit's found and Crit's gone. No buyback on the Shaker either. He's dead for a full minute. As NIP, they'll take the tier 2. They're moving up to the high ground.
The lanes aren't good enough. Arteezy does not have any pressure on the map. You've got at least 30 seconds to go here for NIP.
Wards are down, jump in from Ace, tries for the stun. Blink dodge is there. But NIP with these wards down, they'll melt through the tier 3. We'll see if they're able to stick around for the racks as well. Still 45 seconds, no crit Shaker. Arteezy desperately shoving out this bottom lane, trying to get it up towards the base.
He's gonna blink forward.
Ace, he's in! Onto Sumail with a false promise, he's there for Fly.
Oh
Now Ace turns towards another, the Hex was there for Saxon to Fly, Fly's dead, buys back, but they've lost S4.
Arteezy approaching the base. You're gonna be able to kill the racks here in NIP, but now you gotta return.
They've got to get back. Look for the TP.
They have Glyph available.
They can. Fada pots the BKB. The vacuum's there to cancel Saxon's TP. Goes Scepter. Will buy him some time. The Assassinate comes in as well as the root. Saxa will fall. Arteezy, he moves straight up towards the top. Fortification will finally come out from NIP.
They're chasing. Leveled up for a few more seconds, but here's the disrupt.
Oh, he gets the ult off. But Arteezy still with a good duration of that shapeshift will be able to get out of there back to safety. NIP, they get that mid-racks. They break into the base of EG. Arteezy still unable to rat through the tier 3 towers. They all still stand for NIP.
It's well played by both sides. I love the aggression from NIP, though. You can see Ace, he's waiting outside the base, but he has no intention of leaving. He's just ensuring he has Blink available and just goes straight in, knowing that Sumail's Blink is still on cooldown, finds that kill.
Look at this movement from EG. This may catch NIP off guard. As soon as Crit's back in the game, they're smoked up. They've lost the mid-racks, but they want to make a play. They know that they still have the creep waves in the mid lane in an okay position. The stronger creeps haven't kicked in yet in terms of momentum. This is the time to make a play, but NIP, they're so sensible about this. They're in the base, making sure that they do not get caught out by this smoke.
Yeah, they don't want to force Sox's buyback here, and it's a cool play from EG. They've been playing away from Arteezy for so long. Maybe NIP would have been lulled into it. Get cocky there. Big drain, 105.
If NIP can get a catch as EG, have to be on the defensive. Sax is back in the game, and EG will immediately retreat. Resume play as well and continue to just play this game where Arteezy just looking for any sort of avenue to go for the wrap.
One racks, it's nice. It feels good if you're NIP, but it's so late into the game, it's just not that meaningful, especially considering it's mid, arguably the least valuable racks to take because it's in the middle of the map. It's much easier to clear those waves than it is to worry about your bottom, which is also so far away from the Roche pit. Very difficult to play against as Radiant.
NIP. Close to EG, they're going to find Crit in the trees. Crit, force to the side. They'll lead him with the Shiva's Guard, they're on top of Crit. The stun's there from Ace. He'll use up in the air to dodge the stun. Can he escape this though? Another force to the side. S4's trying to help up, but S4, sided by the Bloodfall, the Greaves are out. Crit will be able to keep the distance. Arteezy and S4 trying to kill off Ace. Ace, the stun's out to Arteezy. Arteezy in trouble, Arteezy's down. Ace, no sorry, S4's down. They get the kill S4. Arteezy's still good to go. He's trying to turn it around, but PPD in 33 is still ready to fight.
Oh, the cheese is popped.
And Arteezy's BKB's worn off. He has to be careful and hide in the trees. Fada very, very low at the moment. As he'll go back towards the creep wave, Arteezy TPing down to the bottom shrine. He'll push out bottom, but S4, the one to die, dead for 90, no buyback on the Darkseer.
If you know this, if you're NIP, you're just going to go
They've
forward.
Fly.
No buyback either.
On the
They're right into the base. You go for throne here.
They're diving, forcing Sumail and Crit right back. As they'll move in, Sumail forced back into the fountain just in time. But a full minute where EG only had 3 heroes in the game. Wards are down. NIP looking to close this one up as the tier 4s start to fall.
Yep, Archeezy, you can keep ratting if you want to, but your base is in danger this time, not just the racks. You gotta carefully go in.
He's gonna try. He's tried his best crit, but it's not enough. The Hex, the control, crit's dead. No buyback on him either. There's shackles as well. NIP, they are doing it here in this game too by the looks of it. Ace, nearly dying there. In fact, with the blink forward, Sumail does get him. There'll be a buyback, Sumail. He's trying to hold, but GG is called. NIP will take game 2. We're going to a game 3.
And I'm glad. Oh, and I feel like this series deserves it. Both
It really
times.
does. sort of the other picks from both teams, we do have that change-up. It is finally a game that there is no Earthshaker. Doesn't end up in the draft for either side. Crit this time is going to be bringing something a little bit different on the Enigma.
Oh.
But hang on, top lane, RTZ. Nice, blocking him off a bit. RTZ will still be able to get over the tree line with the dagger. Will get himself away from that early movement from NIP to try for that first blood.
He's going to have to go all the way back to base and TP back out, though. Heavy punish. And I think that Tsunami was right. Saksa Rubik is huge to this game, but I think it's actually about the support duos. More emphasis on NIP playing aggressively, especially the 3-3 Night Stalker. They need these 5 to 10 minute phases of the game going so well for them, because I do feel like EG's team fight at some point will be enough to take this game. It's just so easy to execute, right? You pop Haunt and you run at the enemy. Supports, especially squishy ones like the ones NIP have, there's just no hope for them. Mid matchup too is key. This is not Sniper versus Razor, this is Lesh versus Razor. And this is, if any hero is Sumail's other than Storm, I'd say the Leshrac would be it.
Now we'll see how well Sumail can do in this 1v1. Had a pretty good start in the Sniper in the first game. After sort of the first few minutes where Razor's father did get a little edge. But obviously not enough to close up the game. NIP taking that game too. As EG approaching the game a little differently. RTZ on the Spectre. Definitely a hero that you can expect to see get very involved. Quite the opposite of how the Lycan was played last game.
Yeah, for sure. The big test is going to be how the laning fate goes, though. Enchantress is one of those old school lineups where you would always play with the Night Stalker. I remember Newbie doing this all the time, like the KP Slaughter, KP Night Stalker. It's very aggressive, and it secures the lane while this core is weak, and then you hit nighttime and you start just crushing no matter who's up against you. I feel like it's a testament to like the drafting styles of both sides, where EG, they just picked a bunch of comfort heroes. It's a very safe, stable lineup. You can see the way they want to execute when their power spikes will come online. Nip, a bit flashier and not really expected. I don't think anyone would have predicted an Ench and a Wraith King in this series, especially not in the critical game 3, but that's EG. Safe and stable, win with what we're good at, NIP, get a new flavor, try and get that strategical edge.
And we can see already PPD just trying to hunt down Crit, make sure the Crit doesn't get the chance to jungle as he is, but Crit looking good with the movements, able to alternate between the two sides of that mid lane and stay where PPD isn't. So Crit will be able to continue jungling uncontested.
Yep, PPD, one of the best anti-junglers in Dota. One of the only few people who still does it. He warded the hard camp bottom jungle, warded for vision on the hill in top jungle. So Crit is now going to be forced to work with just one camp. Still just level 1. We'll hit 2 off that creep, but you're fine with this if you are the side of NIP. The stun will still land on S4. Ooh, Centaur just out of range.
Now, even a TP up top as well from Crit. I mean, either way, you know, as you say, with the counts being taken away from him, he has to move over to this area of the map, but this is closer to PPD, and PPD will continue to prowl around. Make sure that Crit doesn't get that space.
Yeah, so far, so good for Ortiz down bottom, though. 14-8. This is the critical hero if you are EG, because he is the answer to these backline supports of NIP. Really good against the Night Stalker as well. You equalize that vision disadvantage at nighttime, because by popping Haunt, all of a sudden, all blinks canceled, and you have total vision of everyone on the NIP side of the field. Sumail gonna have his bottle up in a moment. This 4-minute rune is gonna be huge. The invis still bottom, but I wanna see NIP, specifically PPD, get active top rune. You don't wanna let Sumail snowball the lane, especially as a hero like Leshrac.
Yeah, both teams with that vision around that rune spot. So definitely going to be a place where you'll see 4 minutes in and make sure that one another's mid doesn't get the free reign of the rune control.
Let's see. Slow game thus far. Very tough to battle into EG's safe lane, or off lane rather. Looks like a safe lane because it's Bane Spectre. Not much kill potential unless you look to rotate more heroes. Sumail actually grabs the Invis rune and now we'll run towards top. Fada gets the bottle, so both mids actually able to fully regen up and get a rune for each respective side. Up top, S4 being pressured a lot harder than I would have expected. Only 7-0 against a 20-8 Wraith King. But again, that's just good job by PPD. Had a sentry down in the laning phase early, was sentryed out by S4, however. So we can still stay there. But it's just very scary when Ench is off map, and you never know whether Wraith King is ready to just pop skeletons with the sentry down. So he's instead going to go just farm easy camp real fast.
Fly. He's got the Nightmare set up on mid. CTP's come in to help out Fada. In fact, it's going to be a Wraith King Ace coming in to help out Fada. Got the static link onto Fly, though. Chase him down with the Wraith Fire Blast down the skeletons. They'll get that kill. First blood for Ace.
Wow. It's not a rotation you see very often. The Wraith King actually the one to teleport mid. No one else really can, though. That's the key. If 3-3 does, he's a non-factor. And Saksa, he wants to continue playing aggressive, get these runes, and it looks like he'll do just that.
Now he'll be able to grab that one, take it away. Art's easy.
Yep.
Just get the dagger on, but doesn't want to chase through. And 33 will be able to keep a hold of the one on their half of the map as well.
They did a great job of rune control in the first or second game, didn't IP? Big part of their victory. Even though there wasn't much action happening on the map, they always seemed to be in the right place, right time to get the majority of those rune spawns. Nighttime has come upon us as well. 3-3 suddenly a force in this bottom lane instead of a non-factor. He will happily start CSing with ease. 50 attack speed, just thanks to the darkness.
Still a bit tricky to get on top of Arteezy though.
For sure.
He's just playing so defensive by the tower.
Leshrac level 6, now the Bane sleep is going to be enough for a kill. Fly going straight in. You got to be careful of your Fada as well. I think Sumail might just go hard here.
He's committing.
He's got a Fairy Fire.
He's playing the numbers, and with the Fairy Fire, it's not enough though. Fada kills off Sumail. He'll chase down towards Fly as well. He's a little low on the HP. Has still got the Eye of the Storm going. In fact, with the Plasma Field, he may just grab this, and he does. Sets up for Saksa to nuke down Fly with the Fade Bomb. They get both kills.
Hey, and I questioned his skill build in the first game. He went for the same one, this max QW with an early point and ult, and proving that he is the Razor expert after all. Because while the passive knight is nice for farming, when you're fighting against an aggressive Lesh, those extra points in Link and Q are actually what gave him the damage advantage to find Sumail before he would actually be counter-killed on. A stun comes out from S4 up top.
But Ace has got, he's got the backup of Saksa. They'll just turn straight toward him with the Wraith Fire Blast and with the dust prepared, NIP. They get that kill. Ace's farm continues to grow. Being involved in these kills as well. It's a beautiful start for the Wraith King.
Oh yeah, if you're looking for a way NIP wins this game, this is how the start of it looks most of the time. I loved the decision by Ace. Actually, Saksa purchasing Dust for his Wraith King to ensure, because you want that Radiance timing ASAP, but you need Dust, because otherwise S4 can just pop Sandstorm and AFK. This allows you to play very aggressive, much like Sumail is down bottom, finding a kill on PPD.
They're getting some sort of kill involvement for Arteezy in turn. It's both Arteezy and Ace very close with one another in CS. Yeah. With the kills as well, the net worth also so close at the moment in this laning stage. Both carries off to a strong beginning.
Yeah, but think about it. Yeah, PPD's net worth isn't high, but it's the game impact we've got to look at. Crit is only level 4. He's still about 400 gold away from his HOD. The pace that EG plays with to kill towers is all revolving around this Enigma, and his timing has been delayed by 3-4 minutes. Already been forced to use both shrines as well. So Peter's, as always it seems he does, sacrificing his own game for the greater good.
Mid lane. Focus once again, Fly. See if you can get a look in, but as you say, PPD's his positioning, always stopping EG from getting away with his movements, and now they can look to try and chase down Fly. Saksa, he's closing in the Plasma Field into the Fade Bolt as Fly will get right-click down. The Eye of the Storm helping Fada claim the kill. Another bit of action favoring this mid lane Razor. Fada.
I like what NIP's doing here. You can't allow EG to constantly roam mid with the Bane. It's Bane Lesh. It's such an easy kill setup, and it's the hero that EG wants to snowball. And once again, it's Peter. He's standing there as a living ward, denying Fly the ability to play middle. It's very important. Bottom, you have Nighttime, Night Stalker against the Spectre. And even though he was outmatched, look at the CS now down bottom. All of a sudden, 3-3 has more denies and CS, and you're going to find another kill, it looks like, up top on S4.
Every single time, more than prepared with the dust and making it look so easy at killing S4 off. He's always on his own. They'll
Bottom
see
lane.
AEG try and return to go for NIP's offlaner. They've got the setup with the Nightmare into the stun, and they will get 33. So both side lanes taking a fall. Fada TP's in, but can't do anything in time. We'll be able to maybe hold the pressure off his tower, as of course NIP up top. They are starting to take the tier 1 themselves.
Look, Ace is just rushing Radiance. Treads, quelling, shields. Straight in for the big item, and it's like, get that timing up, play around the Radiance, and just start sweeping the map.
Dire's top tower.
I mean, he is well into the Relic Gold. If they get this tier 1 top and then are able to move around, take the tier 1 mid and bottom, Relic is going to be online so quickly.
Wolf Creep got the HOD, they're looking to push.
They've got the Haunt used as well. They want to try and find Fada. They've got him. Razor's gone. Can EG get anything else out of this? They'll look towards the tier 1 mid. And with the fourth, in fact, the full 5 of them are here, they can push onwards.
Radiant structures are
Fortification will slow them down a little bit, but they'll be sure to stick around and open up the map by removing the mid tower from NIP.
Yep. They want to make sure it doesn't get denied, though. Got to be careful. PPD?
Oh!
Up top, though. Yeah, it was Ace, so he's doing a great job ensuring that he is going to accelerate as fast as possible. And
Hey, gold, if they can get some of these bounties too.
they got 3 again.
This is so quick and so scary for EG if Ace gets this Relic timing.
It's all about the team fights, though. That's what EG is looking for. You can see with Haunt active, they are strong, and they will look to find a fight. It changes, though, once Ace has the Radiance, maybe a Blink Dagger, and he can look to just charge forwards.
Yeah.
No one on EG is going to be able to contest him with his ult active once that item is online.
They've got to do something about this Wraith King. He is going to be such a huge problem for EG come the mid game if Ace continues to hit these timings that he's working towards.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He's gonna have a relic at like
It's so
12
quick.
minutes.
Yeah. As EG now move forward for another tier 1, keeping the push in down bottom. Arteezy shows himself in mid. He is on his own.
Is under attack.
Saxa can't quite close the gap for the telekinesis.
You can see how important it was, though, for Peter to slow down Crit, because yeah, these towers are melting, but at least they stayed alive for that extra 2 or 3 minutes. You want to buy time for that second night phase at 15 minutes to come up. If you could, you'd love to get mid, but great job by Arteezy pulling the creep wave away. They're going to have to aggro for it.
Down bottom, they've got a fight going in up. They've taken down Crit. Ace has turned up as well. He's looking towards Samael. This is a big gold boost if they get it, and they do. They get both the kills. Fada, he's starting to chase down for more. They've got their eyes on Fly. PPD also helping with the chase towards him. A big static link means that Fly is going to get slapped down with a couple of whips from Fada's Razor, as there's 3 dead on EG. The fact that Ace gets involved as well, that's got to be pretty much the Relic Gold on Ace.
It is.
He's got the Relic Gold pre-12 minutes.
Oh, but S4 looking for a double stun?
Silence causing some issues. He'll settle for PPD. They'll get the Enchantress, but nothing else.
Radiant's bottom
You'll take that all day if you're PPD. You're 1,400 net worth. You do not care if you're the one who goes down. It's just buying more space for Ace. Game. You can see Saxa did steal the Split Earth as well. That's one of the downsides of picking Lesh into Rubik. I love the synergy with EG's draft, but Saxa now has a 0 cast point time on a 2-second stun that deals 240 damage. Like, you're actually setting up kills all by yourself. You plus anything, once you have this spell, is a kill on anyone. Looks like Artur will be going for the Radiance build as well. Might switch it up and go for like the Manta Diffusal, but so far 1,300 gold. Definitely behind Ace's progression.
Sure. I mean, Ace is, as I said at the end of game 2, he's been having such a good series. And this game 3, being able to move around the map and find the avenues to farm in, no deaths. He has not been caught out of position at all. And he is on the road to an incredibly fast Radiance in this all-important game 3.
Winning side does move on to the top 3 of this MDL Paris Major. Here in Disneyland, a ton of fans still in the arena. I know you've been here a while, folks. I like what NIP's doing as well. Like, if you look, both Saxa and Fada's Razor are going for Atos because they know they're going to have enough front line. All 3 of their cores are in tanky, and you know you'll have a Wraith King that's just going to be going full Divide forwards. So ensure you have that catch. Find those kills on EG. Don't let them buy enough time into the late game where their superior team fight will change the status quo.
Look at that. EG had a couple of heroes mid trying to deny, but Ace's skeletons, they get the last hit on the tower. It's more money for the Wraith King. The Radiance is pretty much done. 14 minutes.
Yeah, it's on the way. As soon as the Courier's back in base, he'll have it up. Pre-15. And talk about a power spike. You're going to have a bounty rune fight, nighttime for 5 minutes, and Radiance. And if Ace wants to get active, he can. But what I expect him to do is just to take a more aggressive route on his farming pattern and force EG to either abandon the sides of the map or fight into him.
And I like this every single time. Saxa
They got the stun.
has been prepared with the dust. No messing around. They know how to play. They know how to deal with that Sand King. NIP, always prepared.
Yep, look, Sox is going to TP back to base. He's out of mana. Now he's got Burrow Strike for a full 3 minutes.
And there's the timing, no surprise. Incredibly faster than the average on
Oh
Ace.
my goodness.
As he'll just run down, fly with the help of 33. This is where, you know, EG, they'll see that, they'll spot it out. Radiance online on this Wraith King.
Not just that, look, bounty runes. It's perfect. Like, NIP could not have hoped for a better start to this game. Now it's just about capitalizing on their lead. Their kill potential is much easier to execute, you just stun in. But now that you've hit this mid game and you're behind, there's going to be a Night Stalker just cutting across the map at all times. You'll have an Atos up in a moment on the Razor. There it is. Sox. Smel's gonna have a Yules, but that's not gonna help his survivability. They'll just wait underneath.
Yeah, this game has been entirely slowed down somehow. With how fast everyone else is playing, they have to somehow fight.
You can look, enemy jungle. As much as possible. Those going to be coming out on Sox as soon as the Courier's back in base. And Ace just continuing farm aggressively, deny the dire jungle, grow this gold lead almost without us thinking about it because there's just so much pressure on this EG side of the map. Next move, probably Roshan. They do have the medallion on the Night Stalker.
Yeah, adds up. This is there for NIP to look towards the tier 2 in the middle. And the Blink Dagger's out on the Wraith King. Ace is just ready to jump and go.
Yeah, and look what he's doing as well. He cut behind the tier 2 mid, just continuing to farm enemy jungle. Now he's gonna, perfect, cut the bottom wave. This is huge. You don't want anyone to be forced into that bottom lane, so ensure he's got .2 points in his ultimate. This is up by maybe 500, 750 a minute since this Radiance was picked up by Ace.
And on top, they're hunting. They've found Arteezy. He has got...
And look at the rest of the heroes. They're just
yeah, can he play his way out of this at all? He's got another dagger, but and that's Arteezy dead and gone.
perfect. I think they might look to Roche, but it's got to be careful. The buyback haunt is always a threat. Arteezy doesn't want to use it, of course. He's at 3,200 gold, trying to close in on his own Radiance, but the question is, will it even matter when it comes online? Look how far Ace is ahead of this game.
He's so far ahead, about a 4K lead on the cause of EG. They do get the lockdown and kill him off for once. See if they can go for him a second time. Backup's inbound. And he's able to get the blink out after the reincarnate. As Ace is out of there. The ping's now for Roshan, as you say, and NIP. We'll see if they want to go for it. But it is hard with VG having the full lineup.
Yeah,
They
no
don't
big
take it too quickly.
No big spells revealed, but it did show off the S4 Blink Dagger. Crit trying to finish his mech. These are big items for EG to pick up. They're going to smoke. They want to fight now with Wraith King ulti on cooldown, ensure that there's no way Roche is going to be taken. But NIP are aware of this. I think they changed this up. They were playing aggressively, looking for a fight. Now, play a bit passive. You'll win a fight on your own shrine and high ground, but you can't be as aggro in the enemy woods anymore.
Back to smoke. Let's see, they can find the Ruby. Jump in onto Saxa. Fada's going to try and help out. Saxa will die. There's the Horde from Arteezy. They'll look to try and go for more, but 33, he's already in on the front lines of the fight. They're on top of the left track. Yule's up into the air, though. Samel will be able to walk back up the high ground. In fact, he wants to get an ace. Jumps in, stuns out onto the Enigma. 33's killed off the Bane. Burrow strike, S4 in with the epicenter. They're on top of Fada. Fada's surrounded by EG. They'll get the Razor. See if they can get more out of this, but 33, he's still good to fight with the silence. Only S4 and Arteezy left alive. Sameo having to buy back to come and help out as he TPs over towards the shrine. They'll chase out S4. S4 burrow strikes. He's still stuck in the trees. They won't look any further. They'll back off knowing that that buyback's there from the Lesh. And NIP able to get that fight going. A situation where a buyback is expended by EG will mean that NIP still hold that advantage.
Yeah, that was a 2 for 3, but the buyback is the big punish. EG were perfectly fine with that trade, but Sumail hurting his own game significantly. They will finally get equal number of bounty runes here, grabbing 2 for the first time this game. That buyback hurts. Little damage using these engagements for EG. None of this damage is being negated, and the cores are all... He needs to stay alive. The longer he's in a fight, the more DPS we're going to get out of him, but with just 1200 HP, anytime he gets blink stunned, he's just dead.
Pit last time, that was at a point where NIP was smart enough to not even try and go for that move, and now it's so much harder. They have the space, they cannot enter the pit, get this Aegis.
I feel like we're going to need some miracle from Crit, but that's so difficult. You're playing against a Rubik, you're playing against a Night Stalker. You don't want to itemize for the big ultimate, but it feels like he's going to need to land one to get... down against the Aegis, and Nip cut top, play this area of the map real fast, kill those 2 towers, force EG into base, and perhaps threaten high ground once this gold lead's grown to 10, 12,000.
And particularly as well, when Fada has the BKB, he'll be ready to just charge up the high ground, even dive past tier 4s.
Then all of a sudden you'll have two cores that can play Arteezy on Spectre. Sure, he wants to hard save on EG. You can sleep.
Now, Radiance for Arteezy finally done. Just 100 gold and the recipe will be there. With that Haunt ready, maybe EG can try and find a fight globally and pick off someone of NIP whilst they're not prepared to go for a fight themselves. Get the quick kills before NIP gets the kills.
Yeah, and he went for the skeleton. It is so much DPS as EG that he will shred your base.
Try for a bit of a setup onto it. Immediately they'll go for the Horn, trying to kill off the skeleton into Samael. Samael's gone. They're trying desperately to find this kill on the Wraith King a second time, and they do. They will. Now with the down. Dagger out, Arteezy could check.
Great fight for EG. You cannot hope for anything key. Even though he's the head of the game,
You're closing the gap.
all of his items are offensive. He does not have that survivability you'd expect. 5 on these heroes give him any HP or survivability. Throughout that engagement, but great job hit in 30 seconds. They do not have Haunt, and Bounty Runes will once again be spawning. And play a bit more passive around the map, but really just making the best of a poor situation. I thought for sure Nip was going to be able to get down bottom and clear objectives, but EG had other ideas. Now looking to gather around these top bounties.
And then IP.
Sure, you could try and dive him, EG, but you still don't know where anyone on IP is. Plus, it's nighttime.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Solar Crest finished on the Night Stalker. If they can find an opening to hit buildings, they will shred them. It's all about EG's team fight. Haunt is active. Everything ready to go.
EG's still waiting for someone to step out in this top lane with Fly. Crit hidden in the trees, but is it going to be the case? And IP revealing themselves down bottom.
Dire's bottom tower
Taking the tier 1. Build for Ace after the Miona into the AC. Wanting to forgo the BKB this game for now on the Wraith King.
Looks like they're going to go here top. Blink up in a second.
Ace actually jumping in for the Helm of the Dawn creep, and he will get it. And now S4 will commit with the bow strike somehow. Has the follow stun. They're still a little hesitant on how much they go in on him, but with the Midnight Pulse, it's enough damage. They'll kill him the once.
They're going to back out immediately. They're going to go down bottom.
Let's see if they can get that jump onto 33 instead. Arteezy's going to be Kepsa. No! He still dies. Crypt with the black hole will allow them to get 33, but it wasn't enough to save Artor in time. PPD getting the last impetus through to kill him. They do lose the Enchantress as well. Nearly very close to being perfect for EG, but just losing Arteezy before they're able to make that return play.
Yeah, living ulti before he had 18. So now they have this 80-second window where there is no second life. They'll have 50 seconds once Arteezy respawns to try and make a play without that free Aegis factor on the big hard carry of NIP. But still, as you can see, minute by minute that goes on, NIP are still out farming around the map. They have a better creep wave, just pushing power on the squad, but more importantly, they have more ways of controlling vision around the map. It's a lot harder for EG to play independent, thus they got, as you can see, even just getting punished bottom by the 3 and the 5 of NIP, and that's your hard carry Spectre, but the whole rest of your team had to hold hands top just in case NIP was looking for a fight up there. Very difficult for EG to play this game until they hit that critical mass where NIP can't team fight them any longer. Then this game changes and EG can look to be aggressive.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Fada, after the BKB, what do you sort of hope to see Fada pick up on the Razor?
More what he did last game, just the Shivas, maybe an Ags. I like Shivas a lot. It's just all about the vision control for NIP. You don't want to ever walk into a choke point against the EG lineup. One of the more classic combos throughout history, numerous rosters, the Enigma Sand King. All it takes is one mistake, 3 heroes will implode. You can see how easy it is. They even killed the Wraith King without actually committing because they just have so much hard lockdown from long distance.
Saxa.
Well, S4.
Trying to start things off. Onto the Sand King on the front of it all. They've got the chains to the stolen Burrow Strike comes into play, and S4's gone. Now with 33 leading on towards Fly. Fly tries for the TP out, won't make it. As NIP hold on the top lane, kill off 2 heroes and don't lose anything themselves.
Yeah, that was the darkness pop. All of a sudden you have clear vision. Much easier to play the game for NIP. He's going BKB next on 3-3, as you said, already picked up on Fada. He will be going for the Shivas next. Just tank ability, vision control. Your Wraith King will deal plenty of DPS. They will be controlling the armor equilibrium as well. They should be able to get the AC up on Wraith King before anyone on EG even thinks about going for that himself. In fact, I don't know who can, really. It's a 10 armor swing. Greaves, however, on the Enigma. No one's picked that up yet. on the side of NIP, but that's just a matter of which heroes can itemize for which items. You don't want to go something too far out of your comfort zone, even if your team needs that purchase. No Vlads on either side, but you don't really need it on NIP. You've got the Lifesteal Aura on Wraith King. Nice lane ward mid as well. That's fresh.
Maybe the smoke will catch them off guard though. EG leading the way up towards the high ground. Smoke dispelled on Fly. Instantly, there's S4 with a jump in onto PPD. PPD try and run it off with the heal, but Sumail with his newly found blink will be able to jump in and offer the damage required to kill Peter off.
This is huge. They're trying to just get these bounty runes away from NIP. It looks like once again they'll win just 2. But you can see the difference, right? Last rune spawn, NIP got aggressive with the smoke because it was turning into night. So you want to be able to find an engagement around that power shift. E.g., you're going to smoke just before it turns to day. Or, yeah, today. Yeah, which is today. So that you can actually take this fight with Night Stalker's ult still on cooldown. Roche is active. Night Darkness will be up in 15 seconds. Do EG make this play?
They're certainly going to look to go for it. At NIP, they can contest this. With that Reincarnate available on the Wraith King, they could just walk in and start off the action. They do have to be a little bit careful with the Black Hole available, but even then, Saxa, he can look for the steal play. Back towards mid, Fly already started to go on. There's going to be the BKB from Fada. Crit, using the Black Hole to control the Razor. Haunt in from Artesian, Fada's gone. They kill the Razor up, Fada buying back. They want to try and fight now that they know that these big cooldowns have been used. Now move in S4 with the Burrow Strike onto Ace. Ace being the focus. 33 cannot control Crit. Saxa will jump in, stolen Burrow Strike. He's trying to find Crit, but the damage output for Sumail is too high. Saxa's dead. Another buyback being used by NIP. Crit's still alive as he keeps himself away from 33. PPD is trying to find him back towards the river. Ace will finish off S4. As S4 may have to contemplate using the buyback himself. He's dead for 50 if they really want to try and keep the fight going out around the Roche. But it looks like as it is, NIP will back away. Both teams leaving the area.
Look at bottom though, the Skeleton Army going to work on the tower.
An easy tier 2 here for Ace.
And again, the gold disparity doesn't change. A bunch of buybacks there. 2 used by NIP, just 1 used by EG. Certainly a win for the Dire side, I'd say. They did use all their ultimates, however. NIP, once Next Darkness is up, you're going to have what looks like a 50 to 60 second window before Enigma ult is back up. You will be playing into the Haunt, however, and you can see now that the Mantis is complete on Arteezy, the momentum starting to shift towards EG. We can see why their draft will be better in the late game, even though the Wraith King's 8,000 net worth ahead.
But as you say, it certainly feels like this Spectre, Arteezy, can have a very comparable amount of impact in these fights to this incredibly farmed Ace Wraith King.
Such a back and forth game. Now, let's see, anything new? Bots finished on Sumail. He's got an Arcane Rune bottled, a pipe on the Sand King, double bracer on Fly, just trying to increase survivability. It's the name of the game here. And it just comes down to Spectre has so much of an easier time finding targets. You just pop Haunt and you're good to go. Fada made the mistake of thinking his BKB would protect him, but with Saxa out of range, there was nothing left to interrupt the crit Black Hole. Now well, they just killed Roche.
Yeah, NIP's able to finish it. EG doesn't get back there in time, so NIP will end up getting the Aegis for Fada.
Yeah, credit to PPD. He had the Wolf Creep. That's 30% more DPS, and that's the time that they needed to finish that Roche before EG was in position to contest.
That was a speed that EG just wasn't ready for. As next item's up for some of the heroes, Crit working at that BKB, 2,500 gold on towards it. And we'll have a much easier time of just walking in, getting that Black Hole off with not too much that he has to worry about at all. Maybe still Saxa gets the steal. But even at that, he should have a good shot locking down the cores without interruption.
Oh,
Arteezy. Walk forward on his own. Fada and Saxa starting to have a poker. Put the Mantis, start a retreat, but the BKB and the Rock from Fada controlling him up. They're looking towards this Spectre. He's taking a lot of damage in return, though, Fada, but they can stand their ground, keep on going. Arteezy's dead. Now Sumail, he's tried to jump in. There'll be a buyback Haunt used from Arteezy. They're going to try and turn this around, EG, but they've lost Sumail. They pop that first life on Fada and the Wraith.
Another engagement down bottom, though.
But they're ready. They can go for him here. They're trying to kill off 33's Tanky, and the rest of NIP's on their way over. They do finish off the kill.
Yeah, 3-3 just getting a little over aggressive. He keeps trying to fly up high grounds, but that's the second time Fly has been ready to find him. The only way he goes down is if he catches that sleep into grip, and he did again, and he's nowhere near his team. They wanted to chase topside, then look bottom as 3-3 calls for help, but it's not in time. And sure, the gold lead keeps increasing for NIP, but as the game gets later, that number means less and less. It's a lower proportion of the overall net worth lead. And you can see Assange and Yasha finished on Fada. Really expected the Shiva's guard. Going for more of the raw DPS build, however, that was instrumental in finally killing off Arteezy as we check out all the items picked up thus far. Cheese being swapped over to PPD, probably just holding it for the time being. Ace picks up the Black King bar. Very important, Dispersion does not deal BKB piercing DPS. So if you're gonna kill this Arteezy Spectre and you're standing on top of him like this melee hero, like this Razor wants to do, you have to be BKB'd so that you don't end up actually killing yourself. And man, just keep in mind that level 25 talent on Spectre. If he gets to that 6% extra dispersion, it's 28% reduction, and the damage dealt to him before reduction is then an AoE around him. And there's no one even thinking about a Silver Edge right now on NIP.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There is this timing now, though, where either Horn or buyback is available for Arteezy.
Oh, he just did it. That was the big fight with Horn buyback.
If they can go from here, Fada does press the BKB there. So now they're actually sort of got a bit of an awkward minute where Fada will not have the BKB ready to do anything.
And that's the big threat of Spectre, is the Horn buyback. And as you said, when it's on cooldown, this is where NIP would love to get aggressive, but with no Aegis, very risky. It is nighttime for 4 minutes though, so no time like the present. I'm sure 3-3 would really love to finish his Black King bar beforehand. Still 500 gold away. Fada going for a Satanic. You got the Black King bar on Ace. Not sure. His level. The problem is none of the cores on NIP have level 25 talents even close to the effectiveness of the Spectres. And our Tor is just that one level away as NIP, they just continuously, they're trying to cut, they're trying to find EG. They have no interest in engaging in anything other than a full 5-on-5 as Sumail uses his Blink Bots pickup to consistently shove the offlane and be ready to TP.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They have to be careful of Crit's Enigma though. Sax has got to be prepared for the steal. Because with that BKB though, Crit can just hold his ground. Look to commit with that huge area of lockdown. Both teams starting to go S4. He's going to rev up the Epi. Does get the jump in straight away on top of the Wraith King. Ace down to half health. He'll put the Miona in, but he's falling low under the Midnight Pulse. He'll die the once. So if they can kill him another time here, S4 trying to back off now. The BKB's popped by Ace. They'll find Fly. So the rest of EG back away.
Bottom, tier 3 taken by Sumail. He blinks out immediately as well.
He's opened the base. And NIP, can they actually get anything out of this? They're looking towards Arteezy, but Arteezy's got a lot of backup here on the high ground by the shrine. 33's trying to head forward. He's in with the silence on top of the three of them, but he's falling low. This burn damage from the Radiance starting to stack up. Now Fada does get the link off. Horn used from Arteezy to try and break away, but the static link continues. Fada could keep locked down onto the target. Black hole used to hold back. Make sure that there isn't more. Crit will get the kill, but there's the stolen black hole. Saxa, he's got the control, but he hasn't got the damage. Has to blink away. As the black hole there from Crit, keeping Arteezy safe, allowing them to kill Fada. S4 still trying to fight up with
bottom
PPD.
lane.
He has been
the melee racks.
The Malefice, they're looking for PPD, but as you say, the damage being done by the creeps. The creeps, they're going to do it. The creeps, they've got it. The melee racks is gone.
Unbelievable by EG. They're just, all of a sudden, that gold advantage has disappeared, and you can see it's just so much easier for them to play the late game. Sumail, he's not just creating threat bottom like Arteezy's liking in game 2, but he's able to come and fight, do battle. Nice ult once again by Crit, just using it for the single target, but that's what you got to do against Rubik's.
Absolutely, it got Fada taken down, it keeps Arteezy safe, and this is a point of the game where this Arteezy Spectre is just, it's so hard to kill. It takes too long.
The key is that once again, Ace is dying at the start of the fight before BKB, before he gets any real damage out. And then when his reincarnation is on cooldown, he's playing passively. They need him to be the frontliner. He's got to be finding the Bane, finding the Enigma, but instead, he's just sort of rotating around the outskirts of the fight, and he's not on top of Arteezy as Fada is, and then they just don't have the damage output. These EG cores are too tanky. Octarine finished on Sumail. This is very dangerous.
He's made such a recovery, sort of sitting at that midway point on farm, but now stepping up, finding that space to push him down bottom, being down a racks now. NIP, they've got to get their heads down and focus because they're leaving open windows for the split to be there, to be able to abuse them. And now get the game in a position where EG, they're the ones in control.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The first time. It looks like EG might even be able to take back the gold lead. It's under 1,000 for the first time since, what, 4 minutes in?
So much of that gold is on Ace. A lot of pressure on Ace to make big things happen. They're going to look to try and fight. Here, crit. BKB's pop. They're looking to get on top of him, but there's the BKB now from Fada. They've already lost the Rubik, though. Rubik, but the damage output from EG looks to be too much. Focuses Fada. Fada's dead. The Ace will be able to BKB TP out. But there's 3 dead. PP lightning for Samael. As NIP, 4 hit the deck. Only 2 of them with buybacks available. EG, 4 heroes alive and pushing down the middle lane. They're ready to try and take more away from NIP.
Looks like
EG know that with their smart, safe, calculated play, they're now in a position where they can get close to potentially just ending this game. A game which for the majority of it has had NIP holding the advantage. But now it is entirely gone. 2 sets of bracks taken.